Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the final beer in my possession from my buddy over at New Texican Brewing. He's a home brewer down in the Houston area, and I've had the pleasure to try out a couple of his beers already. And I'm on my final one, which is kind of upsetting, but this is the most anticipated one out of the four he sent me to do reviews on. So I am pretty damn excited because I don't think I've ever had a rye IPA before. I've had some like more hoppier kind of when it comes to, you look at ones like the Lagunitas, the Wallow Special, or kind of some that has a little bit more of like a higher IBU rating, but it's just definitely, it's probably going to have a nice golden color to it, but it's definitely not going to be your average everyday IPA, I think. It's going to be, so I'm going into this completely blind, not really knowing what a rye IPA is going to taste like, so I'm pretty damn excited. So without further ado, I'm ready to crack this guy open. Of course, when I left this damn thing in the fridge, my parents decided to bang it around a little bit. So there's a couple dents in the side of the can because people in my household were a little bit reckless. But that's okay. It's as long as the beer's still in there. So let's crack this guy open. So let's see what we get on the smell of this guy. Oh yeah, definitely getting more of like a a maltier forward kind of situation. Definitely getting a nice hoppiness to there, which is good. But it's definitely getting like a little bit more of those breadier notes coming through. So I'm excited. So without further ado, let's pour this guy and see what we're looking at. So drinking out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon. Well, let's see how this guy pours. Oh yeah. Exactly what I was thinking this was going to look like. Having a nice kind of dark brown color to it. Just look at that. This is what... If there was a rye hazy IPA, this is what it looks like. Holy crap. This looks absolutely delicious. Still getting a lot of those breadier, like rye kind of like seed notes. Whenever I think of like rye flavors, I'm thinking of like all automatically in my head, I'm going to think of notes of like, see if I can get rye bread kind of flavors in there. I don't know. But definitely getting some like those heavier, breadier notes coming forward a lot more. Yeah, giving a little bit of hoppiness in the back end, but I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this guy comes in at a whopping 7.6% ABV, so I guess it's almost sessionable in my opinion. But yeah, without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Oh yeah, wow. So it's definitely more maltier forward. Getting very, very strong bready notes with this one. Very, very strong bready notes. The hoppiness kind of takes the back end of this. Kind of give me situations of almost kind of a similar note of like a brown ale almost. But definitely having those strong like rye bready notes coming through, and then the hoppy bitterness to kind of come up at the end to kind of smooth everything out. Definitely getting a nice like balanced sweetness in there with the bready notes, kind of giving like a natural malty sweetness to it. But yeah, I can definitely tell with the grain he used in this thing, that grain had a good amount of sweetness to it, and this is letting that grain shine. Yeah, that's bready, hoppy perfection in it. I'm assuming there's probably a rye spice in there, just because to kind of add that like bready kind of flavors in there along to kind of just let that rye note kind of come forward. But holy crap, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely love the balance between the hoppiness at the end and the kind of the rye flavors, like the spices you get from that, and the kind of had that malty breadiness along coming in there as well. Yeah, he absolutely nailed it. That is absolutely freaking delicious. Wow. I've never had this kind of IPA before, so being able to experience something like this is pretty cool. Pretty cool, and it just definitely opens my eyes to different kinds of styles of IPAs that are out there, and New Texican just kind of made me a fan of a new kind of IPA, which is nice. Yeah, it's delicious. So, looking here on Untapped, with New Texican being a home brewer and kind of working on opening up a brewery on his own, there's not a lot of ratings on his stuff on Untapped. It's definitely, I know a lot of them, I was the first check-in for these beers, but on this one, there's somebody else who actually checked it in before me, so one check-in and it says, crispy and spicy, crushable AF, from one guy, and he gave it a 4 out of 5 on Untapped. So, with only one rating, says it's, like I said, 6.7% ABV, 68 IBUs, so it's like that mid-range of hoppy bitterness coming in there, but definitely still letting those rye and like rye spices and all the kind of bready notes kind of speak forward first, and then kind of come back note with the hoppiness that kind of balances out at the end. But let's see what Untapped describes as similar beers to this one. If you haven't gotten your hands on anything from New Texican yet, you can always do so. Go over to his Instagram, hit him up, place an order. As long as you tell him that I sent you, he will make sure you're taken care of and possibly might throw in there something special or give you a good deal. So just, if you want to make an order through him, make sure you mention me about it. But let's see, what different similar beers are they saying that if you haven't ordered this yet and you may have something in your area that you can get to kind of give like a similar situation. So we got one from Transplant City Beer Co. called the House of the Rising Sun. I like their kind of play on words there. Then we got Ghost Hawk Brewing Company with Along for the Rye, which is like a 10% rye IPA for them. And then we got one from Troon Brewing called Thank You Russell. And then this definitely looks like it's from overseas, called Solidario Sea Brewery. And I can't even say the name of that. But then we have one called from Captain Brew called Aria, which they're also considering something similar to that. But let's see what this house... So if I would have to choose one that I would probably say seems like the most similar to this, I would probably pick the House of the Rising Sun from Transplant City Beer Co. They are at, where are they out of? Let's see. Looks like Transplant City Beer Co. is out of Litchfield Park, Arizona. So if you're in the Litchfield Park area, if you want to get your hands on some stuff that may be similar to this rye IPA from New Texican, the House of the Rising Sun might be something that you may enjoy. But other than that, yeah, let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this one, because I feel like I'm going to give it a pretty high rating, in my opinion at least, because I just think the balance and flavors in this is absolutely stellar. So, can art. Yeah, when it comes to a lot of home... I've talked about this plenty of times before. When it comes to home brewers sending people stuff and making things for people, you really don't get a lot when it comes to the labeling usually. A lot of times you see like a piece of tape with the name on there, or just like something simple. But the New Texican actually goes out of his way to create labels, a sticker label on there where you can write with a permanent marker on what style of beer you have. Of course, he has that token New Texican kind of logo, which he's known for, which is the outline of the state of Texas with the kind of the arrow of where he's from in the Houston area and all that stuff. So really classy for a home brewer. I absolutely love his labeling when it comes to this. Of course, using the nice cans and all that stuff always works as well. So yeah, easy 4 out of 5 for can art for being a home brewer and kind of raising the level of sending people beer from that kind of home brewer experience. So really, really nice labeling. So let's say I went to a brewery that had the rye IPA on tap. I got it in a flight. Would I get another one? To be honest, absolutely. I think it's so well balanced when it comes to those bready rye spice kind of notes, and then having that hoppiness come in, that like just to balance out the sweetness and just kind of bring in those nice hoppier notes that kind of washes away the breadiness on your tongue. I think is done so well. It's just, I love the color of it. I love, like, it kind of has like almost like a creamy kind of smoothness to it on the mouthfeel. It's not really oily. It's not really juicy. It's not really pillowy soft. It's definitely more like a creamier kind of mouthfeel. But I think he did an absolutely fantastic job with this one. So let's see. What's my final rating on this one going to be? I'm going to honestly give this a solid like 8.75 out of 5. I really enjoyed this one. This is definitely kind of going to be a style of IPA that I'm going to keep an eye out for now to kind of see if I can get other styles like this, because having that rye spice, kind of more bready, maltier forward kind of IPA, having that kind of hoppiness to come at the end just to balance everything out, is definitely a very, very unique take on your average IPA. So I think the notes in there are fantastic. It's just, so I'm definitely going to start kind of keeping an eye out for different ones in this kind of style of IPA. New Texican knocked it out of the park with this one. So easy 8.75 out of 5 for me. Really, 8.75 out of 10, not out of 5. That would have been a good rating as well. But overall, yeah, he did a fantastic job. So if you want to get your hands on this rye IPA from New Texican Brewing, all you have to do is go over to his Instagram. Link to his profile is down in the description below for you guys. Give him a follow, of course. It's a great thing to do, just because he likes posting stuff with like whiskeys, bourbons, ryes, and all that stuff, along with his brewing beer journey, which is great. So you just got to hit him up with the DMs, let him know that I sent you, and tell him what you want. Get an order together. He'll sending everything out to you. His shipping is really good. The way he packs up his orders is really nice. It's kind of, you don't really see that kind of thing happen when it comes to people shipping beer. He has the whole kind of like I want to say like a kind of a cutout kind of situation to where the cans fit in there perfectly. So it's a really cool. I always trust his shipping when it comes to everything's going to show up not damaged or anything like that. Just he makes sure that everybody's taken care of when they order from him. So it's a really, really cool thing that he's doing over there. Having his beers available to everybody that just hits him up on Instagram. And I'm really excited to see what he does moving forward to opening up a brewery, different styles of beers he comes out with. I know he's been asking a lot of questions because he wants to work on a nice hazy IPA. So who knows? You might see that popping up on the channel within the next couple months when it comes to him bringing out that hazy IPA and me sharing my thoughts on it. Who knows? We'll just have to see what happens. But otherwise, yeah, he absolutely did a fantastic job with this one. Big shout outs to him for creating such a delicious brew. But other than that, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. Don't make sure to go over to New Texican Brewing's Instagram page. Give him a follow. If you want to place an order, hit him up in the DMs. Remember, just let him know that I sent you, so he'll take care of you. Maybe throw in something special in there with it. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and this is your first video watching, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my stuff. And if you like it, hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot as well, along with that like button as well, because all that stuff with the kind of like buttons gets my content out there for everybody else. But other than that, let's see. If you want to see a social media aspect, you can see people like me, Wintucky, Duchess, Ian, the Typhons, Not the Real Gerard Butler, a bunch of us that are checking in beers, getting badges, and having a good time. Get yourself onto Untapped. It's a great social media platform for beer drinkers. You check in beers, give them ratings, tell them your thoughts. You get badges. Kind of Untapped has its own like merch site as well, to where you can get like shirts, glassware, koozies, you name it. They have a bunch of stuff going on over there, so it's a really, really cool thing. But other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. And I'm going to say it like I always say it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday.